I'm going to show you how to design a full collection in Pencil and how to get started with just a single piece and then go from there in terms of building out a collection. The collection I want to show you is a stone pendant collection. So this is something you've probably seen a lot of. There's a lot of brands out there that do great just single solitaire stone pendants that you can wear on a chain. And I want to show you how we can create one for all the different types of stones that are out there. With Pencil, you can start designing with just a stone. You don't need to design using a template. You can start with stones or AI or elements. And I'm going to start with stones. And for this collection, I'll start with an emerald shaped stone. I'm going to use a standard size here of 6x4. You could also do custom sizing if you wanted to enter in your own size. Because this is a pendant, so it's going to have a bail on top and be connected with a chain, the setting type we want is either a basket or a bezel type. Flush or pave need to be set onto an existing surface. And I'm doing an emerald cut, so why not an emerald type of stone as well? Of course, this could be anything. Once that stone setting is put in place, you want to double click it to lock that in. And now that's going to form the base of our design. So the first thing I like to do is rotate this so it's facing me, and you can do that by selecting your setting. I always recommend using the cube here to change the camera view so that you can easily rotate something using the wheel. In this case, we'll change it to the right and we will spin that around. And let's just zoom in using the scroll to just see how it lines up. And that looks like that's lined up nice and straight. So we'll click the green check mark. That's going to lock that in. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to add a bail to the top of this. So let's go in and let's click on components. This is where we'll find our bails. I want this collection to look all the same. I want it to look consistent. And I think I'm going to do this with a knife edge tapered. I feel like it just looks great on this type of setting. We're going to go with maybe a 4mm and let's see how that looks in terms of sizing. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Again, using the cube, we can also just move this around ourselves and double click to place. Now we can just tidy up the placement a little bit. So that actually looks pretty good from that side. Let's have a look from the front. Hey, that actually is pretty straight on. The only thing I want to do, and this is just from a manufacturing perspective, we'll just move this down a tiny little bit. So we'll select it here. The reason I'm doing that is just so it sits a little bit better in the setting. Click on advanced move it down. I might actually look at this from the back. That's going to give me the best angle. You obviously don't want to move it down too much because you've got the wall there, but that's going to give us a better solid single unit when it goes to cast. Okay, cool. All right, that's one of them done. Let's start by naming this as well. So let's go in here. We will call this our emerald pendant and save. Great. Now we're going to jump out and we're going to create a few more. And I'll show you just a handful of those, but you'll get the idea for how you could build out a full collection like this. Okay, so we're clicking on home. We've gone out. So I have a lot of other designs here that I create, and let's duplicate this. So duplicate is going to create a copy of it. Okay, so we've got this here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to delete this stone. And you can do that just by clicking on X and deleting. That will remove it. Great. Now let's go in and let's do a different type. Let's do an oval, and we'll do also 6x4 and a 4-pronged basket for that. And this time I'm going to do a garnet for my oval. Okay. And now this time we're actually able to line it up because we've already got a piece there. So that's going to sit perfectly. I can line that up and double click. And just like we did with the emerald, we just want to check to make sure that that's sitting properly there. There's no gaps. We might move this just a little bit down. just so it sits there. The knife edge tapered is also a knife edge on the bottom of it, so sometimes there can be a little bit of a gap if you've got a curved surface. Okay, click the green check mark. Let's have a look at it from the front. Okay, looking pretty good. Let's name it, of course. So this is going to be our garnet oval pendant, and done. All right, let's go back out, and we're going to duplicate this one again and create another one. Cool, and let's go into this one here. So you can see from just that single design, I created the general look by picking the type of setting and the type of bale, and now we're able to go through and really quickly just iterate on this and build this collection here. So again, let's delete this stone. This time, why don't we do, you know what, no collection is complete without a round stone. So let's grab a round, 6 millimeters. We'll do a 4-prong basket again. This time, let's make this one a diamond. This is going to be a little bit expensive if you're using natural diamonds. Maybe not if you're using lab. Again, just want to point out it just clicks right into place. You can double click it right there. Let's go take a look at this. Okay, that's not coming through, so that should be fine. But I do want to point out one thing here in that I actually think we can move this up a tiny little bit. So again, we'll just grab advanced move. Sorry if I'm moving a little fast here. You can see here that I'm moving that up just a little bit, and I'm clicking that green check mark to lock it in place. And again, let's go back and let's name it. Let's do, oops, we'll go diamond round pendant. Okay, so that's 3 out of our collection. As you can see, by following this methodology, we could continue to create this entire collection, and really in literally about 10 minutes or so, you could build yourself out an entire collection that's fully manufacturing ready. When you want to get it made, all you need to do is click on the Get It Made button. That's going to allow you to connect with manufacturers and makers, or if you've already got your own manufacturing facilities or your own factories that you work with, just click download. That will generate the STL for you, and you can start making this collection.